Coming up in the news, a man found dead in the Lucaya area. The Humane Society speaking on the recent pit bull attack. And the Bahamas Paradise Cruise Lines welcoming new developers of the Grand Lucayan property. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping the news, a gruesome scene last night as a man believed to be a foreign boater was found dead on board his vessel in the Lucaya area. As Ramiko Knowles tells us, the victim spent some time sailing around the northern Bahamas.
Police in Grand Bahama investigating the circumstances surrounding the discovery of a body on board a vessel at Silver Point. We spoke with the man that discovered that body. The victim is believed to be a sailor who arrived in Grand Bahama shortly before Hurricane Dorian. Owner of Silver Point Boatyard, Gary Simmons, says he met with the victim for the first time in August of last year when he received calls regarding a boat in distress. From that time on, they've had several encounters.
Last time was right off of Hunters, broke down again and got in trouble, and at that point I decided I better just, bring him back here. He could stay out of trouble for a while and make his repairs and regroup and carry on his journey, which I've done many times over in the past with boaters, that just have trouble, beginning their new lives as sailors. This is kind of the first place that people end up is Grand Bahama. They leave from Palm Beach or Fort Pierce and end up here on their journey for the rest of their life.
He says he spoke with the victim last week Thursday before leaving for Abaco. He returned on Sunday and attempted to contact him but was unsuccessful. The next day, he says, there was an odor in the area. Later that evening, he realized the victim had not responded to his messages since they last spoke. That's when he went over to the boat.
I drove over there on my boat and I pulled alongside and I banged on the side of the boat and I didn't get any response, and I thought, man, this is strange. But then I smelled the odor even worse. I was going, man, oh man, I hope this is what it appears to be, that he's passed inside the boat. So it's night, so I took my flashlight and I tried looking in the window and beeping some more, and finally I got on board the boat and put my light in the hatch. And man, the first thing I saw was his face. And I could just see the rope and see his face, and of course, just jumped.
After discovering the victim's body on board the vessel, Simmons contacted police. When our news team arrived, officers along with emergency medical personnel were on the scene. According to Simmons, the victim may have been dead for several days, as decomposition had already set in.
He was a big guy, he was like 6'4" and probably 280 pounds, 250 pounds or so. So it was a bit of a struggle, and I guess they figured he was dead for about a week.
Now, no name has officially been given, but the victim is believed to be a U.S. citizen in his late 40s. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Ramiko Knowles.
A man is detained in hospital after sustaining injuries in a stabbing incident. Police tell us that around 1 p.m. on Monday, officers were called to the Pinders Point area where they met a male with multiple stab wounds about the body. EMS personnel rendered medical assistance to the victim, who was later seen by doctors. His condition is listed as serious but guarded. Further investigations reveal that the victim was involved in an altercation with another male when he was stabbed about the body. Now, a suspect is in police custody and is assisting police with this investigation. In other news, investigations are continuing into a recent pit bull attack that left an elderly man nursing serious wounds. The attack taking place in the Sunrise subdivision. Tonight, an executive of the Humane Society says the recent attack is regrettable and dog owners must be held accountable for their pets. Italia Hall has more.
Executive Director of the Humane Society, Tip Barrows, says dogs are friendly pets, but that is only the case when they are properly cared for. She says too many times dog owners are not giving their pets the adequate care that they need.
The biggest problem is not the breed of the dog or the way the dog looks or anything else, it's the way they're cared for. And unfortunately, we do have a huge problem on this island with too many people acquiring these dogs, not taking proper care of them, not socializing them, housing them in cages or kennels and tying them up and stuff like that, which would make any dog crazy and aggressive. So when you see a pit bull type dog, it doesn't mean they're dangerous. But any dog can bite if provoked or if not socialized properly or trained properly.
And if you are approached by a dog while walking the street,
people should always take caution when approaching a strange dog or if they see a strange dog. It doesn't mean every dog's going to bite you, but if you don't know a dog, it's best to keep a distance. But the biggest problem is people not keeping their dogs confined safely in their yards or their homes. And so, it all comes back to the owner.
She says there are laws in place relating to dogs that she believes needs to be enforced on the island, and owners must take full responsibility for their pets.
Common sense just tells you when you see a strange dog, don't run up to it, obviously. Call somebody, call the police. 2 to 1, they're going to call us. We help as much as we can because we want to keep people safe and animals safe. But we don't want to see any breed of dog being demonized unnecessarily. But at the same time, the people who own these dogs need to know there's a public perception out there that is negative, and it's on them to do right and do better.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
And now to other news. The signing of the heads of agreement this past Monday for the sale of the Grand Lucayan Resort property, signaling a rebirth of the island's tourism sector. Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, expressing great optimism for the country's second city, with some 2.5 million tourists projected to arrive on Grand Bahamas shores. He says that some major improvements to the international airport must be done to increase air arrivals as well.
It is anticipated that Grand Bahama will provide a better and more enjoyable overall guest experience in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and promote future traffic growth to the island. We must revitalize public infrastructure and provide economic opportunities and incentives for the private sector to invest in the revitalization of properties and businesses. We are discussing the best way possible to redevelop the Grand Bahama International Airport, making it a world-class airport. This will require a significant investment.
Chief Executive Officer of the ITM Group, Mauricio Hamoy, noting that they are committed to following guidelines established by the United Nations Agenda for Sustainable Development. As they establish their presence through the redevelopment of the hotel property, he adds that they are also committed to the development of the people of this island.
In social development dimensions, we want to work with the community, the state, and the local business so each individual has the opportunities to achieve its maximum potential with dignity and healthy environment. In order to do this, we will work in an accurate diagnostic of the community that will help us to design and implement programs that includes and maintain sustainable development. Regarding the economic development, we will research the economy by bringing more people by cruise lines, flights, ferries, or whatever other means we need to bring them in order to promote creation of a lot of jobs of the Bahamian people.
Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line continues to be a reliable and sustainable lifeline for Grand Bahama. With the new owner set to redevelop the Grand Lucayan property, cruise line officials say they hope to play an even greater role in the island's tourism mix. Italia Hall picks up the story.
For the past 10 years, Bahamas Paradise Cruise Lines has been a major contributor to the tourism sector on Grand Bahama. Cruise line officials are welcoming the sale of the Grand Lucayan property, noting that a new chapter in tourism will unfold with this new development. CEO of the company, O'Neill Kosher, was on hand for the official ceremony on the great lawn of the resort property. He says Bahamas Paradise Cruise Lines anticipates a huge boost when the redeveloped property opens.
It also reinforces that, Grand Bahama has a lot to offer, and I believe Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line and Grand Celebration will continue to provide the service, and it only gives us more options for our customers, for our guests, and the inhabitants of Grand Bahama, that, there are more options, and we believe we'll be driving more traffic to the island. As the island offers more and more, how are these people going to get here? So we believe we are very well equipped to continue providing the service and get people to Grand Bahama in a very leisurely manner.
Bahamas Paradise Cruise Lines operates 2 ships from the port of Palm Beach, and Kosha says they plan to partner with the hotel property.
As you know, we also do cruise and stay. We are the only cruise line that generates hotel nights. So this is a big development for us because our cruise and stay offering will get enhanced. Our guests would have more options, and also it's going to be a revamped and new property. So we are very happy because our customers who are lacking a great hotel product in Grand Bahama will have one now.
And as for the company's commitment to Grand Bahama,
after Dorian, we helped a lot of people evacuate. In fact, even today, we are bringing Grand Bahamians back who stayed back, and we're trying to help them, and I think we'll continue to do that and continue to provide a great cruise service to Grand Bahama.
It's Halia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Now, the new developers Holistica plan to demolish the Memories Resort and the Lighthouse Point property. A theme park will be built on the Memories property, and construction is slated to begin in approximately 4 to 5 months. A gaming facility is also a part of the overall development. The first phase will include 526-room hotel, a shopping village, water and adventure theme park, and a 40,000 square foot convention center. Director General of Tourism Joy Jibrilu is welcoming this development. She says officials from her ministry were invited to sit around the table during the negotiation period.
The reason for that was so that we could say, this is a partnership, this is a collaboration, we want them to be successful. As I told them, and I love to say, their success is our success is their success. Let's do it together. You could see that they were so open to that. In fact, all along we've shared with them statistics, we've shared information with them, we've spoken to partners. So a lot has already been taking place behind the scenes, and now the real explosion could begin. And that we're going into this as a partner, in partnership, for the extension of just growth, economic growth, into the island of Grand Bahama.
She says she believes the project will transform Grand Bahama's tourism industry, just as Atlantis did for New Providence some 20 years ago. She's optimistic about what's to come for this northern island.
To see a transformation of the tourism product on the island of Freeport is just extraordinary. And it's not just us at Ministry of Tourism, obviously. It's every single Grand Bahamian, every single Bahamian that stood behind Grand Bahama and wanted to see the magic brought back to the Magic City. So you can see from my smile, really genuinely and truly happy at what's about to occur.
And coming up in the news, find out what's cooking as we introduce a brand new segment coming up after the break.